Hi, hello, and good evening. It is December 12th, all right? And we are here with a very special Strat Chat, okay? Because Mikey is here. Mikey's here. That's really why it's very special. Hi, Mikey. Coming back, what was it? You were here a year ago, right?
Just about a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't care about Big Brother or any of our international offshoots. That's fine. Yeah, Mikey was with us for Survivor 41, which, compared to this, rather underwhelming. So tonight's conversation is really around Jesse's blind side. Okay, so that's why we're here tonight. All right, because this is a very exciting one. That's right. Mikey is here for Mon One Monday. Mon One Monday with Mikey. He doesn't know what Mon One Monday is.
He looks so confused.
No,
but it's so exciting.
I just wanted to say it because Gina hates it. But here we go. Let's get this sucker off. That's right. There she is. There she is. Okay. Wait, what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because the theme started and it was going through and I went, who the hell is Justine?
Is she on the jury? She's still there.
Is she? No, that's Janine.
Janine. Oh.
Ooh,
Honestly, I
forgot.
almost said, wasn't she your winner pick? So I almost made the same Florence, so it's fine. It's fine.
There were a couple of names on there that I forgot about entirely. Gio. No,
right, and I thought Gio was going to the end with the edit that he was getting.
Not quite.
Unfortunate end for Gio, which honestly, not really unfortunate because I really wasn't vibing with him. So like, honestly,
okay. Yep.
So honestly, it's just fine. It's fine.
Oh man.
Oh, so silly. This is the salesman of the year. How dare you?
Right.
It's so silly. Oh, I missed this comment too. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Loyal service. I know. It kind of is. Wait, let's get. We didn't start this correct. I'm Kyle Petty. All right. And I'm joined by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. And we're here with one of our, I didn't have a proper introduction for you. I'm so sorry. Mikey's like family. He's like, best friends with all of us. This is Mikey Marmon. Performer extraordinaire. Yeah. All right. Yeah, sure. We'll take it. This is Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Presumptuous, we know. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. All right. So this episode opened, what was it called? Telenovela. We'll get into why. This opened with our final six sitting on the beach now. Okay. Reflecting after the Sammy vote where he played his shot in the dark. And this came up last week. Now, this shot in the dark, we are in agreement that it sucks, right? Like
terrible.
It seems inconsequential. It's just like, well, it doesn't really need to be there. It gets used
Nothing
like one
ever
season,
happens.
and they never get the shot. So it's just kind of like, what's the point?
Well, I was literally last time we talked about Survivor. I asked Kyle and Gina if they would be okay with it just being like, let's just rig it. Let's just make this work one time, even if he didn't actually get it.
At this point, I feel like
go ahead.
You got it.
Right?
I feel like production it just kind of pressures people to use it because it felt a little out of character. Like Sammy was never talking about
using something might happen.
Right. It's like he's like, I'm just gonna do my shot in the dark. And it's like you've literally never mentioned that once. It's like I feel like that just came out of nowhere. And production was just like, hey, we're getting down to the end here. Can somebody just use it?
I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Maybe not this next season because they do 2 at a time usually, but 45, I think it'll be gone.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it's going to stick around much longer.
Yeah, there needs to
I
go
think-
the way of the hourglass.
I was just gonna say the shot in the dark should have gone with the hourglass.
And do or die, or whatever that stupid
Yeah.
flame crap was. You remember that?
At least that
Oh.
one worked once.
Ugh, I guess.
The hourglass was
Yes.
fun though, at least the first time, because it was like, oh, it like really shook things up that for in 41. 42, it was like we were expecting it.
Ooh, Kyle's mad.
No, ooh, okay, sorry.
All right. I will agree that it did shake things up, but like as a viewer, there was no question in my mind that she was going to do it. So this whole big
course.
build
They
up,
ended
this
on a
is how we end-
cliffhanger.
Yes,
Literally,
we
it was
end
the
the
cliffhanger
episode
of
with
like,
this.
well, would you like to be safe or would you not? It's like,
Right, like-
I don't know what she's gonna do.
Like, what is that? That's not really. Don't not give me an elimination when like for this. Like that's not worth it, cliffhanger wise.
And also our Challenge USA champion, Danny McRae, who also happens to be the husband of Kiki, hated the hourglass twist.
Okay, but him hating the hourglass
Kyle's
twist
face
was-
fell so fast the moment you said husband of Kiki.
I
know.
Kiki. It's actually not Kiki's fault, but no, I think that Danny was a little ridiculous in this moment. I'm sorry, like not to like discount him or anything, but like, all right, it's a game though, so sometimes some things happen that are not really like what you want.
Right.
You know, because it's just if this was the other way around, you wouldn't have been so pissed that this happened. So, yeah, it's just because you took an L on it. So, like,
Oh, that hourglass twist, love that thing. If he was-
right, exactly. It was awesome. I love this game. So, like, please, like, let's not. Anyway, so Owen wanted the original plan to be seen through. That one being, Carla having voted for Cassidy, and then Cassidy not leaving, and Carla being left with the egg on her face. Okay. Egg on face. But Sammy saying that during tribal he's going to use his shot in the dark kind of like messed that up, and that's what kind of put the votes on him. Whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
needed to
Owen
go.
wanted to use this to drive a wedge between Cassidy and Carla, and that's when he now goes to tell Cassidy that Carla had intended to vote for her. And then Cassidy turns right around like the boss ass bitch that she is and goes right to Carla and was like, I heard that you had something to say about me. So this is a fun conversation now down at the beach where basically Carla gaslighted her a little bit, huh? And
She gave a good performance. I was impressed. I gotta be honest.
yeah, I was impressed too. I was impressed, but also a little turned off.
I don't know. I respected it.
I'm like, this is why I could never play this game because I would get my feelings would get hurt. Somebody playing me like this, I would really be affected.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess when you play it, you know that you go into it knowing that things are gonna probably get blown up in your face at some point.
Oh God, no.
Listen, the fact that she could pull out fake tears on its own is an impressive.
It was
feat.
really impressive.
I
was
can't do
beyond
that.
I
impressive.
absolutely would have bought it.
I
I
would
would have bought it.
absolutely bought every second of that.
Yeah, that's what upsets me.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I like Carla. I've been a fan of hers, so it was cool to see her pull that off for me. I think she's pushed
stand
through a
Carla
lot.
from the beginning here.
Oh yeah,
Good,
we love
good.
Carla.
Well, let me tell you right now, right at the beginning of this, Jesse has been my number one since the first episode. That he was my pick, so I'm a happy
was,
man right now.
He was,
Oh yeah,
Well,
oh yeah.
of course, Cody was my winner pick.
Weren't you torn between the two of them though?
I was.
You were torn between someone else, at least.
No, I was torn, and I went with Cody because
But you have
look at him. Very
Yeah.
hot. Very hot.
But you have you have throughout the season talked about how much that you like Jesse and how you would have considered him a winner pick would have maybe even over Cody, but ultimately
No, I know. And you're also trying to make me feel better about the fact that I have not correctly selected a winner pick in the history of our podcast. And John and Gina both have. This is really an attempt to make me feel better, but I don't deserve it. So obviously, Carla denies what we said, says how stupid it would be. Because obviously she's been voting with her all along, and that's where the tears came. Awesome. We love that. Now, Carla asked Jesse to help clear her name All right. Says, yeah, I told she's like, I
Oh my
told Cassidy to
God.
come find you, Jesse. Like, let her know that I'm good. I'm gonna be voting with y'all. And Jesse goes, yeah, don't worry, I got you, babe. And she goes right down to the beach and tells Cassidy the exact opposite. And says, listen,
It's like, to
Carla
be
was gonna
fair,
vote for you.
though,
I don't know, like the whole Sammy thing, that's what messed it up. Carla's gonna vote for you though. What'd you think of this?
to be fair, like I feel like no one wouldn't have taken that opportunity. Like if you already know that there's cracks forming in a super solid duo, of course you're gonna be like, oh, everything that you heard is true. She's lying. She's a liar.
I'll tell you what, though, what this tells me though, that like that moment is that no one has any idea the game that Jesse's playing at all. We see it because we have like the confessionals and all that, so we get to see everything that he's thinking. But it seems to me like no one on the beach, like he's not speaking much. You know what I mean? Like he's like very, I don't know. It's good gameplay. It's just good gameplay. He's just been on top of everything the whole time.
Because even like the only time that like we've really seen any sort of whispers about like maybe Jesse could be in trouble was, I think it came mostly from like a next on in an episode that we saw in the last few weeks where somebody made a comment like, oh, Jesse and Cody, or they might have said Cody and Jesse, they're running everything. But in my mind, that was more a comment of like Cody is running things and Jesse is working with Cody. So like even in that instance where somebody actually said Jesse's name, it's like really no. It's more Cody is the threat and Jesse's with Cody. And Jesse is just kind of sitting in the back seat watching everything play out. He's got an idol that yeah, right, exactly. He's just Cody has just allowed him to hold on to his idol all season. Yeah. Jesse has an idol that everybody thinks walked out of the game, and he's the only one that knows it's even still in existence.
Incredible. It's incredible. It's so good. Oh man, he's so good. I don't know. I've just been so impressed by garbage in the challenges, absolute garbage. But everything else is spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the challenges are only half the game. And
It's true. It's clearly not important. They don't see him as a threat in the slightest. Well, now they probably do, but he's got another idol, so it doesn't really matter.
That they don't know about. I can't wait, by the way, for that to get played. It's going
to be fantastic.
It's going to be so nice.
Because you can only play it for one more. He has it.
Right.
Like, that's the part. I can't wait.
Yeah. Dwight literally...
They have no idea he has it.
And then he left the game pre-jury.
And the other thing is that they all think that that no one has idols anymore because Carla played hers. Yeah, Jesse's was played, so they're gonna be like searching for an idol that doesn't exist most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It's so good. He's just been, When that gets, because there's no reason not to play it because you can only play it for one more tribal anyway. So that's gonna get played, and they're all just gonna be like.
I can't.
And that's the thing too.
I can't wait for the camera to go right to Janine.
right. And like, what's so funny about this is that like the move in itself is just the fact that he's going to be using the idol. He could walk into that tribal without a single person saying his name. Just the fact that he's going to get up and say, "Oh, I have this idol. I might as well play it because it's my last chance." They're all going to be like, "Where did that even come from?" Like that is the mind blow right there. It's just the fact that he even had it in his possession all this time and nobody knew.
Yeah, because they've been all
including the girl who made it.
Exactly. This cast especially has been really open. I feel like about the advantages and the idols they have. Like it seems like no matter what, everybody knows about at least one. So that there's no expectation that idol exists. Not at all. They think the advantages are all out of play. The man is impressive.
Absolutely.
The man is impressive.
I love it. It only scratches the surface. There's still much more. First, we have this reward challenge. I could not play this. All right. There's no part of this that I would want to take part in. We had one player strapped inside a giant ball, and they had to direct the other two blindfolded teammates down a long path to a table maze, where the person inside the ball must continue to direct the other two, still blindfolded teammates, to guide the ball through a maze to the hole at the end.
Yikes.
Horrible. Absolute disaster.
Incredibly entertaining, though.
It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch, but I felt sick at the same time. Like
Oh,
watching
I was
like
dizzy
Cassidy
watching it happen,
upside
yes.
down. Yeah, so we had Cassidy and Owen in the balls. Owen was directing Cody and Carla, and Cassidy with Jesse and Gabler. Seeing Cassidy upside down, like screaming at them, like I was like, I just cannot imagine. And this is when I got like really, really like, I don't know, like I got really, really nervous. Like all the hairs in the back of my neck stood up. Like I cannot imagine being upside down that amount of time. These blindfolded idiots. Like, can you imagine?
Owen was doing great though. Owen was doing
was doing
awesome in
amazing.
this.
Yeah,
Fantastic. It was like it wasn't even like a challenge for him. Like like somehow
Yeah, his
I don't know.
communication with them was perfect.
He's got like a super calm energy, which I think has been it's been great for him in the challenges just in general. That's the only thing. That is the only thing that can take him down right now. If he,
Hi, William.
he needs,
William
but,
comments
I mean,
that
like-
Jesse will lose the fire at Final Four.
that's the only thing that can take him down. But what's also like he could still pull out another immunity. You know, it's possible because that last one
true.
typically isn't a super physical one. It's more like they do that one with the ball a lot, where you just have to put the ball up at the top and then catch it. You know, so it's
Also, who else in there? Is there anyone else in there that we know is like very good with making fire? Because I know that there was an episode recently where they talked about Sammy being like the guy that made the fire, and like let's get Sammy out because anybody in a fire challenge is going to lose to Sammy. So it's like, is Jesse really worse than everybody else in there, or like does he have a shot at making the fire? I don't know.
I can't imagine like maybe Owen, but the rest of them like Gabler, Carla, I don't think any of them are like fire gods by any means, you know?
Yeah.
So man, if he is able to get to final three, there's no competition. There's absolutely no competition.
Huh. Okay.
Because yeah. But it's all gonna come down to that fire challenge for him.
Right. I guess we'll see.
We shall see.
So that's that. So wait, so this reward challenge was just for iced coffee and iced tea and pastries. I don't think this was worth it.
No, wasn't this also they had to go to the sanctuary too, or was that
this
not
is the sanctuary? Yeah.
They had the sanctuary. Yeah.
So they get to sleep with pillows and blankets. Of course, it's worth it.
Oh, that's part of it too. I thought there was a day trip to sanctuary. They stayed overnight?
I assumed when they said you're getting sent to the sanctuary that it's staying the night and you're getting all these other stuff, but maybe I made that up.
I feel like they didn't focus on that. Maybe they did. Maybe that's just supposed to be understood.
I don't
It looked like a
remember.
day trip to me, and I was like, "This looks lame."
Maybe I
It's
just
like
misunderstood.
An
I don't know.
awful lot of work, just for a croissant.
For an iced coffee.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know.
Listen, you'd be surprised what I'd do for an iced coffee. All right.
I also like this late in the game, like any sort of like food energy boost is so huge.
It's critical
because like
is,
they're all running on fumes at this point, you know. So to just like be able to sit down a sweet tea and like get that like kind of like refreshing sugar in your body for a second, like that's a big deal.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. Fine. Just always lame. The last things were
I
so
mean,
much better. So much.
Not
better,
incredibly exciting,
you know.
but
But all right, fine. So good for them. They get to go. So that's that's Owen, Cody, and Carla. Carla basically telling Cody and Owen she does not have an idol. Ages very poorly. Back at the real camp, Gabler now is planting some seeds with Jesse. This is where it begins here. Basically saying that, all of the big moves that have been made really look like Cody's moves. You kind of look like his number two. Gabler is rather impressed with himself here, using these poison in the king's bowl metaphors. I made a special note of that.
he always does seem to be impressed with himself, doesn't he?
Yeah. But I'm also impressed with him. Like, I think Gabler's better than people say. See, there go Gina Eyes. There go.
I
Gina
don't
Eyes.
like
I
him.
don't know. I'm
I
not
don't
a fan.
know,
I'm not about it.
Hey.
I think he's played a good game. He's won some challenges. He's made some moves. He's no slouch,
I mean, he's not one to win now. I'm not even saying, like, even if Jesse got out, like anyone else that he sits next to, I still don't think he wins. Like,
Right.
but I just
He could beat Owen. I think.
Yeah.
but no
Yeah,
one else.
I could
I
see
don't
that.
think anyone else.
He could have an
'Cause Owen
argument with
hasn't done-
Cassidy. He could have
Maybe,
an
yeah.
argument with Cassidy.
Yeah, because I would say
You
with
know.
Owen's been on the wrong side of like more than probably half the
Right.
votes. He's
Right, this is what I'm saying. Like, and this is what I'm saying. You can't count Gabler out. I'm like, I'm not a Gabler stan or anything, but like, you know,
no.
you can't like,
He's
you can't
gotten
like, you know, scoff at his resume. You know, he's got a couple
he's
of
gotten
points.
he's gotten himself to finale night, which is more than a lot of other
Yeah.
people in this cast can say. So
That's very true.
Mhm.
That's very true. Still not a fan.
Yeah, so there's that. Cassidy tells Gabler and Jesse. Oh yeah, Cassidy tells Gabler and Jesse that Carla has an idol. Yep, Cassidy spilled the beans. Bean spilled.
Mhm.
It's like
Um,
it's so
spilled,
impressive to me how easy it was to split Cassidy and Carla up. They turned on each other at the drop of a hat. It was
Sure
not
they
a
did.
hard sell.
No,
Because they were like
no.
they were each other's number one for like most of the game, no? And then all of a sudden, people tried to split them up, and it worked magically.
Yes, but I also think, don't you also think that's also a result of this sped up game?
Mm.
Like, if we weren't moving so fast, you would have a little bit more time to build up some roots in these relationships, and you're not so ready to fly off. Like, as soon as somebody hears one thing sideways, they're like, I believe you, goodbye. Like, nobody
Yeah.
checks anything. Like, nobody, they're just off to the races. Got to get you
Yeah.
out next. And it's like, that's
It
not
does
the way
feel
this
like
is supposed
it's
to be.
very like go.
Yeah. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Like, you know,
I think
go
it also
verify.
comes down to like just the thought that like it's the same thing with Cody and Jesse, like the thought that the like having a pair and like working together is, once you get to the finale, it's never viewed as a positive thing, you know, like because it's always viewed like you're either not making the decisions or you're like, it's just like you've played the same game, so it splits the vote a lot. So I get it, but it's also just like it's funny to watch.
yeah,
This happens very quickly, you know, very quickly. Just can't even read my own handwriting. Ridiculous. We already said that. Sorry. Gabriel and Jesse told Cody that Cassidy, oh yeah, blah blah blah. Keep saying how she doesn't. Oh yeah, because Cody got really mad that, you know, Carla was lying. Yeah, we knew that. So the immunity challenge. They had to go up and down a net to get a bag of number tiles and then put them in order to get a combination, then remove your key from the lockbox, take the key, head out the net, and use the key to unlock the puzzle and do the pieces, blah, blah, blah. Cassidy wins, all right? But not before Carla, her body florins out, right? She had a big issue. Is it time to be real?
It's time to be real.
It's time to be real.
I heard your notification go.
Sorry.
Yay! Oh, and
yeah.
John's not being real.
John, that's not very real of you.
It's pretty fake.
Actually, it's the realest of real,
Yeah, I think I was being more real than anybody.
right? The realist.
Oh man, it's funny watching that go off in like a public place and like everyone just pulls out their phone at the same time.
Yeah, it's also really ridiculous for our audio only friends. They're just like, all right. So I'm like,
This
get
is the
done with you, be real.
second time it's happened during a podcast.
Yeah. Sorry to our friends. Sorry. So Cassidy wins.
Was the
but-
first time with Jacob when we were with
Yes.
Jacob? That was the
Yes.
first time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob
Right,
of
so-
the mole fame. Sorry.
So Carla's body florins, and she had a hard time. Her hands are going crazy. She twisted her ankles, spinning around because her body hurt. It's a disaster. She just basically fell apart. She fell.
That poor woman
Yeah.
has got the absolute shit beat out of her this entire
Yeah,
competition.
just fell apart. She just fell apart. Poor thing. So now this is where all the shenanigans begin, right? Cody proposes to Carla to go to Final Four with him. And the way that he says to do this is that we're going to threaten to play our idols, but not actually play them. And then the plan is to play them when we get to Final Five, ensuring that we get to Final Four. And this would now force everyone to vote for either Gabler or Owen. Now, what I thought was initially interesting about this proposal, that even right out of the gate, I don't understand. He goes, so Jesse's going to be involved in this. Why? That would have been my first question. Why? But why would Carla go for that? Excuse me, like that's your person now. If I have an idol,
this is what I was saying
idol.
before, though. this is what I was saying. I don't think they don't see what Jesse's doing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I think they see him as a goat, but we see, like I was saying before, like we see everything that he's thinking because we have all those confessionals. I was talking to my buddy Elliot about this. Like that one episode where he had that whole like section where he was like, this is how you do a blindside. Step 1, and like did the thing. No one knew that was happening. You know what I mean? Like it was so like hidden and so like well played that the game that he's playing is completely out of view.
Yeah. It's been very impressive.
So,
very impressive.
Yeah. Well, so what I'm saying, so like, I don't think that anybody on the island
even
is
notice
seeing
it.
what he's doing. So it makes sense to me that they're like, yeah, we'll take Jesse because we can beat it. Little did they know they can't. But
it's amazing to me.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So Carla says, sure. Sounds good to me. Sounds good. So she runs off and she goes and she tells Gabler, yeah, hey, I got an idol and I'm playing it. What do you think about voting for Owen? And the whole thing is in effect. Obviously now with Cody now going to everybody else saying that, Carla's got this idol. Here's what I told her. We're just going to vote for Carla. Get her out of here. But now, all right, we see Gabler's seed starting to, bear some fruits. you might
That's
say.
right.
And,
you might say.
You might say. And and now Jesse is now, really forming the big push now to vote Cody out. Really by way of his own plan. Basically saying, I have Cody's idol. He can't play it without me. So let's do this. Let's go for Cody. And everybody says, okay, sounds great. But now, as Cody is now trying to convince Carla of this whole idol threat, at trial, he wants to prove to Carla that he's got an idol. So he asks for the idol back. So Jesse gives it back. Now, Owen made a comment about this, and I wanted to get your opinion. Because Owen, was making this comment, it sounded like as a confessional, saying, Jesse, for some reason, gave the idol back. And it's like, well, what was he supposed to do?
Right. What is the correct way of being like, actually, no, you can't have it.
Exactly.
I need
just
it.
like, no. And all of a sudden you just get real savage, like right there.
Right.
Yeah.
What else are you supposed to do?
Right. And who would ever be prepared to flip just like that? Like, that's wild. Like,
He had to give it back.
There's
no
other option. There's no other option.
I was like, am I missing something? Okay. So yeah. And that's really how they left it. That's how they left it. So we didn't know going into tribal how this sucker was going to turn out. Because as far as we knew, Cody still had the idol. So we go into tribal and shenanigans ensue. Everything still seemed to be kind of on course though, right? It's your regular tribal. Nothing really going on. It's too crazy. Still didn't quite know what to expect until Jeff asked, if anyone had an idol or advantage they wanted to use. And after some apparent hesitance, Jesse says yes. I've got a little something. And he plays Cody's idol for Owen.
Cody looked like he got the wind knocked out of him.
That poor man.
Yeah, when I saw that it was the red one, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what's going on? I was like, because again, we didn't know that that Jesse had even gotten it back. As far as we knew, Cody still had it for the Carla thing.
And so smart of him to play it for Owen, because that is what ultimately got Carla to flush out her idol.
To play her idol.
Yeah. Carla's seeing this, shooketh to her core. Rushes over to Jeff because he was about to start counting. She was like, wait, hold on. I'm gonna play mine. And that's when Cody knew he was cooked. All right. And I'm telling you, I felt this in the pit of my stomach. I got the wind knocked out of it. Even just talking about it. Like, I feel I can't catch my breath. Like, this moment was like so ridiculous to watch. Right. And he was like, really? Really, bro? I thought he was going to hit him.
Yeah. The editing on this episode was
so tense.
I
God,
wanted
it
to like
really
rip
was.
my skin off. I was so
My-
uncomfy.
I would say my like favorite part of the episode, of the whole episode, was like that like moment when they're like face to face, and like the music cuts out and it just like looks like he's about to just spit in his face, and then they go for and I was like, oh yeah, but like oh man,
There was
it
a
was
silence
tense, man. You
with
could
that
touch
in that
you could
editing
cut
too.
that
The way they
tension.
did that, I was like, I don't know
Yeah,
what
it
to
was
expect from this moment because it really could have gone either way.
well done.
Well-
kudos to whoever edited this episode.
Yeah.
They're-
And I've been
all
reading
the
since
endings.
then. I've been reading since then that Cody has come out and said that this was literally the angriest he's ever been in his entire life.
I read that too.
So
I can imagine.
but yeah,
beautiful
he held it
restraint shown
together.
from Cody.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
he held it together.
Good for him.
Wow.
Cody said that
Wow.
after he apparently ripped that tent down. You know, you
Yeah,
leave
I
and you
saw that too.
Yeah, apparently I don't know, you get weighed or something in some holding tents.
Mhm.
Apparently he was flipping out and like almost ripped the tent down. He
Oh
said he had a pretty
damn!
rough go. Yeah, he had a rough
I wish
go.
we saw that.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I wish we saw that too. Maybe some wily productions assistant will release some leaked cell phone footage.
They
You know,
used to
some
record
wily-
that for the Ponderosa episodes. I haven't been watching those this season, so I don't even know if they're doing it.
I've never watched those.
But
I have no idea if
I've
they're even
never-
still
I
happening.
was watching them. I watched a bunch of the 41 ones, but it's like they usually do like a little Ponderosa episode where they'll like follow whoever got voted off that week, like their first reactions, like of all of it. But I will say, it seems like he had calmed down quite a bit by the time he recorded his like exit interview. So
Yeah.
Right. This was the interview I read from Entertainment Weekly. Okay, so you can go look for it. Just do a little search Survivor Cody. It'll come right up. But yeah, I heard that we didn't get Ponderosas for Survivor 42 as well. Not that I was checking for them or anything, but it looked like
I
yeah.
didn't check for that season either.
Yeah, see, yeah, Matt. They stopped doing them after 41. There was some rumor that it had to do with Shan. And I don't remember what that was. And I think she was on Instagram saying that like that's not so or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to get caught up in the rumor mill. Okay. I don't know. I don't really know anything. I don't know things. You didn't hear it here first. You didn't really hear it here at all. So there. So that's that. That was that episode. So that leaves our top 5. Cassidy, Jesse, Gabler, Carla, Owen.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this must be a 2-hour finale that we're getting on Wednesday, right?
Probably.
I think so.
It's got to be, especially with Amazing Race now clearing the way. We must get one regular episode. I'm guessing, like one more like proper tribal before we move on to our final stuff.
Yeah, because there's going to be tribal 5 to 4, and then 4 to 3 will be like the fire tribal, and then you got.
But this Wednesday is the finale, or is it there another week?
Yeah,
This Wednesday, yep.
This Wednesday is the end. Yeah. Are you working Wednesday?
Yes.
No.
Wow. How dare you?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think you were asking me, but yeah, I am. If you care.
Oh, all right. I guess it's good to know.
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah, so nobody's available. All right, we'll forget it. But yeah, so finale is
available.
Wednesday.
Oh, 3-hour finale.
What?
Is that real? That's what.
That's what Matt
no.
says.
Oh,
3 hours.
Uh-oh.
Does that include
Alright.
like the after,
That's
them,
that's
them
a
like
full Marvel movie right there.
oh my goodness gracious!
That's a lot of TV.
Oof. Oh, is
listen,
that because they're
I'm
gonna
here
do
for
that
it.
stupid reunion like right in the moment they do the finale? I don't
right,
like that. I don't
right.
like that.
We're not back to live finales yet, right? Is that ever gonna happen again? I missed those.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Big Brother
It's
was
definitely
live.
not a
We had
live finale. Was it?
Yeah,
I wonder-
the Super Bowl back to live.
I don't think, because I don't think they didn't. They would probably specify the return of the live
Yeah.
finale.
Oh
if it was
God, I
something.
really don't like that.
oh yeah,
3 hours.
It's
What is
confirmed.
That
That means-
for 3 hours.
a 3-hour
Oh,
finale.
So it's
that
going to
means
be a
they'll probably-
regular full episode and then the finale.
Yeah,
Well, a full
Yeah.
episode finale plus reunion, right? So
Yeah. I mean, the reunion will be probably like a half hour though.
But I'm saying like that first tribal is gonna be a full episode.
Yeah.
before they
So
get
like
to
your
war.
full hour, and then you'll have like the whatever. Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of Survivor. I'm looking forward to it. Kyle's not though.
I mean, I'll be
Kyle's
watching.
livid.
No, it's just that because you know what the issue is. Like, I would rather just this would be a night that I would say, okay, if I'm getting 3 hours of this, I'm not gonna watch it live. I'll just watch it the next day. Because sitting through all those commercials is just torturous. If you were actually giving me 3 hours of Survivor, I'm in. You know, but it's like it's sitting through all the rest of the mess. Like, I'm just not interested. And like
It'll
that
be maybe
reunion,
2 hours and 15 minutes of Survivor.
yeah, like oh my, yeah, like this is it's just gonna be a little torturous. But you can't wait until the next day. I gotta know because then I gotta stay off my phone. I can't just go to bed knowing that the answer is out there and like I just ignored it. Like no, it's crazy. So
Matt says y'all better grab your sativas. You know that's right.
I know. I guess so. I guess so. Damn. Yeah. All right. I mean, I'll be watching. Who am I kidding?
I'm gonna have to wait till the next day, most likely, unfortunately, but
Oh,
it's
damn.
fine.
That's too bad.
Everything's fine.
So yeah, I guess my money's on Jesse at this point.
Yeah, if he makes it, if he makes it past Final Four, there's no competition because he's gonna be. We've seen it in his confessionals. He's gonna be incredibly eloquent at this final tribal and be able to explain everything he did and how he did it without any sort of like effort. I remember was it last season? What's her name one where she had to like it was difficult for her to actually explain.
Marianne, right?
Marianne, yeah. It was she managed to do it, but like it was difficult for her to explain how she got there. You know, but with Jesse, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be like that.
The jury.
Sorry,
the jury already knows that Jesse pulled this move off because you could see after they sent Cody out. I think Noelle made a comment. Janine made a comment. They were like, Jesse did this. That was Jesse. Like they know that the biggest move of the season so far, Jesse pulled it off. So.
And that's kind of, I was going to say, the only thing is that when people play this kind of a game, it is really hard to retroactively take credit for all the things that you went out of your way to not have blamed on you. You know what I mean? Which like that moment does kind of like play into his strengths of like, okay, so they know for a fact that I did that. But I do worry sometimes when people are really good social gamers, like, okay, so how are you going to now convince people, no, I actually did do that. I made you think that it was that person's idea, but it was really mine. You know?
Yeah. I mean, what he has going for him on his side is this on its own is game-winning move. Plus the fact that he's got Janine's idol, which is also a game-winning move. You know what I mean? And like that's gonna come out easily enough next, like in that. So that's it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, there it is. Yeah, he's got that move. Plus he's got the idol, and that's really all he needs. But he's got other things that he can like sprinkle in along the way, whether or not like they buy it or they think that it's true. Like those two things are enough. The way I see it, at least.
Yeah, I think I think you just playing the idol, all you just need to do is explain a little bit around that. Just give a little speech. I think, and you're good. Just those two actions by itself. It stands on its own. Sorry.
That's the move. Like literally just showing everybody that I've had this. You all thought this left when Janine left.
Right.
This has still been in this game since you got out, Sammy. Since you got out, Noelle, since you got out, James, since you got out, Ryan, I have been in possession of this the whole time, have not had to use it once, just had it in my back pocket, so I'm laying it out on the table to show you now. Like, that's how powerful I was.
Yeah.
It's worth noting, too, he hasn't been on the wrong side of a vote since...
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's ever been on the wrong side of the vote, actually.
Yeah.
At least since the merge. But it's possible. I can't think that far back, but it's possible he was...
I think the only... Well, that's the thing, too. Even the votes where his people went home, right? Because he had a close bond all the way back when we had our 3 tribes still, when NECA was there. And he was part of the, part of the reason that NECA went out, because that's what was best for him and Cody at the time. And he lost like a person there because they were close, but even that he was on the right side of. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of a single vote that Jesse was on the wrong side of.
No. Yeah, and it's as long as he can make it on 3, he's good to go, and I feel like he's going to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a good feeling about it, but it could. I mean, it
you're
could blow up in his face. And what's also interesting is like obviously like this is like a promo, so like we got like a second of the episode, but the major thing that they showed from the next episode was still the fight between Carla and Cassidy. There was never like it was like that still seems to be like the main. They don't even seem to. Jesse still somehow isn't on the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based off that, I mean, like that's like a second of a 3-hour episode, so God only knows what they're actually talking about. But from what we've seen, like it's insane. Truly,
I want that so bad to be the main discourse of the first real episode, and then for Jesse to needlessly play Janine's idol. Like the
Like,
conversation is not even about me.
I'm
I'm just playing this because I'm just flexing on y'all.
Yeah, literally,
Right.
Like, it's just,
He's
amazing.
just like, man's is just
I'm playing this because I have to.
Godfather,
It's Final
just like,
Five. Just playing it.
I got
Yes.
this.
I love it. I love it. We have some questions from Pat here.
Oh Jesus! Oh Pat, what are you doing?
Pat wants to know, Mikey, realistically, how far do you think you can make it in Survivor? Now, reminder, they don't supply hairspray or mirrors on the island.
Oh no.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start this answer off by saying that I've worn a hat almost every day for the last month and a half. So the hairspray, we're good. I don't need it. And the mirror, I lived without a mirror. I just put this mirror in my room for I've been in this room since June. I put it in 2 weeks ago. So I've been good without mirrors for a while too. So neither of those things are going to be an issue. And worst comes to worst,
So you've already been roughing it. You've been roughing
Growth from Mikey.
roughing it here in the suburbs of Long Island.
These are hard hitting questions here.
Yeah. But how long
They
do I
are.
think I can make it? I don't know. Personally, I think that I could make it to the merge at the very least. I don't think I would be seen as too much of a threat, and I think I could manage to social. I think I could get myself. You know what I mean? I think I could get myself to the merge. After that, I God only knows. I'll probably get hungry or bored or tired. You know, it's. But I don't think I'd be much of a challenge threat. But I think that I would be able to like help enough where like I'd be like, okay, like. He's good, but he's not too good. I don't know.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
He's nice.
you know,
Yeah.
he's just chilling straight up. I don't know. I think I could make it to the merge. I'd want to be on the jury at the least. I don't think I could win, but I think I could make it to the merge.
Okay.
What about you guys?
Oh, please. I don't even
Day
think I'd
one.
Yeah, I don't
Day
even think I'd make it to the first challenge. I'd like to say that I could make it to like day 2 or 3, but if it rains, you can just cut that right in half. Like if I even make it
One thing that Kyle has brought up a lot that would be my downfall was how many times you zoom in and see like ants everywhere. No,
yes,
ant
that's what
bug,
I'm saying.
I'm going home.
There is no version of me that could just lay down with that like going on around me or on me. Like no.
John, though, I feel like you did pretty well. I don't know.
Really? I don't know. I actually think I'd have a pretty tough time. But I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Once I got there, I like try to think about how I would do. And I can think of things like, you know, like the pooping situation would be rough, I feel like. But once I got there, I feel like I would figure out.
Once you're in,
it all
and
comes
there's $1
down,
million on the line, though, it's like I'll shit in the woods for $1 million.
That's what I mean. Like once I got
every
there,
time that we get into the discourse of these shows, John's one deterrent is always the bathroom.
well, yeah, because
point.
yeah, well, Big Brother, that's a lot of people in there, and unless you're the HOH, you got to share a bathroom with all these people. Like that's a big deal to me. That's a very big deal to me. You know. But once I got there, if I was actually out there on the beach, I could probably talk myself into like being all right. I can make this work. I'll find the tree I like. You know, I'll find the spot that I like. That's good for me. It's got some nice big leaves, and you know, figure it out.
It's the anticipation, you know. But I feel like once you're there and you can like count down the days, so it's less than like 30 days now. So it's just kind of like
yeah.
You just gotta,
I have never
do it. You just got to do it.
I've never seen Kyle look less amused.
Yeah. Kyle's absolutely disgusted right now.
I just know I really couldn't do it. There's no way.
It would not be easy.
Matt,
That's for sure. It's
I love-
not. I don't look at Survivor.
Oh,
just poop in the ocean.
No.
They call it
Oh my god. They call it aqua dumping.
Oh my god, I hate it.
stop! My stomach is like turning. Like I just like stop. But I also would not imagine you're really actually pooping that much. They're probably just little like
It's true.
little
See,
pellets and stuff.
Sometimes what I stress about is like I'm like severely lactose intolerant. So like the second they have those like reward challenges and they're like it's a pizza party and I'm sitting there like I would probably still eat the pizza and then I'm like out of commission for a day. So it's it's hard.
Really
I don't look at
wrecked.
Survivor and go, this looks easy. That's never like I look at like a show like The Circle and I'm like, I could do that. That's easy. Nothing. That's nothing. You're sitting in a room pampering yourself for 2 weeks. Survivor, you don't look at Survivor and you're like, that's the easiest thing I've ever seen. Never.
No.
What do you think about the what do you think, because this has come up a lot lately. Kyle was talking about this recently. What do you think about the teeth situation? Their teeth look very nice.
They
They're
brushing their teeth.
They're given. I think I looked this up last year. Actually, I think they're given like toothbrushes and toothpaste. I think they get sunscreen too. Because that's another thing that would be huge. I couldn't possibly do it without sunscreen. I would be burnt the entire time.
This has been such a hot topic on this podcast of whether or not they have toothpaste.
I'm like pretty sure they do. Maybe not toothpaste, but I also like they could be brushing their teeth with like leaves or shit or something. I don't know. I remember looking.
They use
that's what we were told was palm. They're like scraping their teeth with palm leaves.
That and like bamboo and stuff they use and like. But Kyle was saying recently, and that was what we had kind of thought, that they use these other different tools to kind of keep their teeth as clean as possible. But Kyle recently has been feeling very strongly that no, he thinks they're using brushes and paste.
Their teeth are just too clean. All right, they are just as clean as people who are like on like actual like actors and actresses. Like they are pristine. Do you understand?
I will say though, I feel like the thing though is like your teeth aren't gonna yellow that quickly though from not like brushing them like that. Like your teeth
Especially
yellow
if all you're eating is rice and coconut.
Yeah, like you're not like there's not like they're not drinking coffee or anything that's gonna like stain their teeth. Really.
They're not smoking out there. They're not all the things from home that you put in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. I did. Yeah,
Y'all
definitely
can't just look at the next time they zoom in on somebody's mouth. Like I mean, like I'm just saying.
It's a conspiracy. You gotta get Jeff Prost on here and ask him these hard hitting questions.
It's true.
What kind of challenges would y'all excel in? Puzzles, physical, eating, or endurance challenges?
I like to think I'm good at puzzles. I think I'd be a good puzzle person.
Yeah, I think I could do all right with the puzzles. Definitely not the eating or the physical stuff, but I feel like with the endurance stuff, I can put up with a lot of bullshit. I feel like I can you just count to 10 a whole bunch of times. I feel like endurance, I'd be okay. So I'd say puzzles and endurance, I'd do all right.
I think puzzle is my only option here. I can't do eating weird things. I am not a physical threat. When it comes to eating challenges, I don't need it to be a weird thing. I feel like I'm not good at eating challenges.
Don't tell me that I need to eat this much food in this amount of time. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not going to be good at eating challenges. Puzzles, I like.
They'll pull out the thing. It's like a giant worm, and I'd have to be like, "Hey, is there dairy in that?" You know what I mean? Like I can't. The eating. No, thank you. I'm good. What about you, Kyle?
I don't know, man. I don't think I'd really be good at any of these. It depends on what the endurance thing was. Like some of those where you just have to hold like a portion of your body weight. I don't know. I'm pretty strong. You know,
Yeah.
I might be able to hang in. I might hang in.
I'm good at planking.
Yeah. Well, about all that. Some of these puzzles, I'm not so sure that I'd be so good at them. I'm really not so sure. I can't really look at.
I think they're harder than they look too. Because I mean, that's even something he said this past episode. Is like they look easy to us because we see them finished beforehand. But like for these guys, like they don't have any idea what these puzzles are supposed to look like when they're going to do them. You know. So I think those puzzles are definitely harder than they look like.
I think they look hard enough.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
Even if I had the example, I'd be like, how the hell am I supposed to do this?
Well, especially because like a bat's wing, all it is just a bunch of lines. Like, how am I supposed to know what line goes where? I would just feel so overwhelmed, be so hot. Like, I mean, I can't say that I'd be very good at a puzzle, you know.
And your brain is like, you're not all there either at that point. I mean, you haven't really eaten a full meal in 20 days.
Listen, I would be serving full, and this is more for John and Kyle than it is for Mikey because you're not a Big Brother viewer. I would be given full Caitlin Herman on these puzzles. Like, I'm sorry, it's not happening.
I don't know. I the puzzle part I think would be my strongest.
It's the only option I have for something I might be good at, but I'm not confident I would be.
No, if I had to choose one of those things to do, if my team was going to put me up, I would go for the puzzle, but don't expect much.
I've always wanted to be like one of those people like that are demonstrating the challenge on those like videos that probably are just like interns that like are like living in the
We get to play it for funsies,
and they just like get to go like have a good time and like play the game, and then they get to go eat a meal afterwards. I just that seems like a dream job to me. I don't know, chilling into.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, like, because I wouldn't be timed. I can just go through it and just play it. Like it does look fun because some of these games do look exciting.
Your like knee gets a close up on national television, which is cool. Never your face, but like your feet, sure.
The back of your knee. You know what game I would really like to try?
The back of your knee.
Like the back of your knee. It's always like the back of your head, the back of your leg. I really want to try that one that we saw last week. That endurance challenged them in the water.
That's the worst one. Absolutely not. Not a.
I would like
that looks relaxing to me. I don't know.
I would like to try that.
If you paid me $1 million just to play the competition, I'm gonna say no. Like, there's no way that you're getting me to play this one.
$1 million, and all you don't even have to win. You just have to play, and that's a no.
Oh my god, it is my worst nightmare.
I would do a lot of things for $1 million, so I can't say I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd play for $1,000. Go out there for.
Mikey's like, give me $5.
I would pay to try it. I would pay for that. Like if I was like going to like a Survivor theme park and that was like $25 to do that. I'm like, okay. I'd wait.
Do that.
I just have to say, I'm gonna do it live on air here. The King Owen Knight just followed our Twitter page, our podcast Twitter page.
So when's he coming
thank
on?
you, Owen. I know. I'm working very hard. We love you, Owen. Please.
That is so stupid. Yeah, I let CBS drown me for $1 million. I'm over here. I'm like, I would pay $25 to try it.
There's something.
Wait, does Pat know that John works for Arizona?
Oh, he has no idea.
That's so funny.
That's a common joke in our friend group. And whenever we're talking about money, Pat always goes that like we're talking about $1,000. That's 1,000 Arizona iced teas. So, John, are you personally responsible for keeping them at $1? Is that your job?
I'm not responsible for anything. I just clock in every day.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I still get. You're laying in the water and you just gotta hold your breath every now and then. Nah, easy.
I would love to play that. I'm
Well,
not saying I would do well, but I'd like to try.
It was interesting though.
I would like to try.
Yeah, it was interesting to like see Jeff like give up essentially. Like be like, yeah, there's no way that this is.
Yeah, he was like, I am not sitting here for another 3 hours. You both win, whatever.
Well, I mean, how long is it until the next high tide? I mean, isn't it like it's like hours,
3 hours,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, You don't have
It's
time
either
for
like
that.
3 or 6 hour intervals. I don't really know.
Yeah, what are
much
you gonna
about.
do? Sit down
For someone that lived
hang
on
out?
the ocean, I don't know the ocean.
Ned.
Matt, Cyberbullying John
Cyberbullying
until
John
he
until he
gets
gets
Owen on
on.
the pod day one. Uh, so,
Oh, man.
so for Mikey, the reason why we know Matt is kind of a funny story. Have you ever watched Australian Survivor?
No, I haven't.
Yo,
I didn't know that was a thing I could watch.
yo,
Is it?
So
Is it?
watch.
It's better.
Oh, it's leaps and
It's
bounds better. It's
so
like a show. It's like
fucking good.
like
All right, that was. Is it on Paramount Plus? Like, where can I find that?
No, and that's the issue. That's how I met Matt. So it was on Paramount Plus for a minute, like maybe a month, if that. So everybody was going nuts. Everyone's watching it, having a great time. Then all of a sudden, they just yanked it, just gone, right? And everybody's like, "What the fuck?" Like they didn't say
They
anything
flamed
to
us.
anybody. It left because originally, that was the other. Oh yeah, first, all right. They put seasons 4, 5, and 6 on there. And then a few weeks later, they put out 1, 2, and 3. And we're like, sweet, here we go. We got them all. And then they took them all away. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? You're like, what happened? And then it just never came back. So everybody on Twitter was like going off and everything. And I find this random person tweeting a threatening GIF at Paramount Plus until Australian Survivor returns day one. And I was like, that's funny. So I retweeted it. And then I was like, I wonder if he's going to do it for day 2. And I went back and it was there. And I was like, that's funny. So I did it again. And I just kept doing this. I still didn't follow him. I was searching him every single day to see if he had tweeted it so I could do it. And then eventually we just started talking. Now, this is where it gets really fun, right? So we've been talking to this Matt here on the podcast like forever. And like, I didn't know that Matt was the same person that was this Australian gift person. So I eventually said to Australian gift person, I said, hey, you ever watch our podcast? Like, we talk about Survivor all the time. And he was like, you idiot. He's like, I'm Matt. And I was like, oh my God.
He was like, I watch you every episode.
He's like, I'm always there. He's like, what are you talking about?
I also love the idea of calling him Australian gift person.
I know. That was new for this version of the story. Because I've told this story a few times. So that was a new way of referring to him, Australian gift person.
Which, by the way, Matt, congrats on getting out of your toxic work environment. Did you see that tweet?
I did.
There you go.
And congrats on your cleaning business. Getting some bookings here, huh?
Telling this all this man's business.
All good things. All good things.
Book Matt Blevins.
There you go, man.
Ladies and germs.
For all your cleaning needs.
Yeah, so anyway, so now you're being cyberbullied into this now.
Yes, I'm being bullied.
You have to get that one on now. What were we talking about before this? Oh, Australian Survivor. It's really it is so good. You have to get a VPN now. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are other ways.
Sounds like work, but I'll make it happen.
We can talk off stage.
Oh.
There's like other ways.
Off stage.
I gotta find an Australian and shake them down for USB with all this. I'm gonna fly to CBS Australia. Is that what I don't know that that's a thing, but
no,
wherever it airs in Australia, I'm flying there. I'm gonna heist it out of there and I'm gonna bring it back.
Network 10.
Network 10.
Listen, their tribals are out of control. They're so long.
Oh,
they're they're so long. The host
Matt changing my username to Australian gift person. Love it.
I'm just gonna reach out to Chris Hemsworth and see if he knows anything.
Yeah, your BFF right? Chris Hemsworth.
Is there a story behind that?
No, he's just Australian.
Oh, silly. But no, it's so good. The hosts like ask very probing questions. These tribals are like on fire. Everything is a blind side. No one does what they say. Everyone's a liar. And the game is like twice as long.
You'd think that's how American Survivor would be.
No.
versus
these people will literally get up and walk around in the tribal to whisper things to each other, like in the middle of the tribal, like
yeah. I mean,
on a
there
regular
was,
No
basis.
respect. No respect.
was it 41 that happened almost every tribe?
There were a couple on
always-
41 like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't happened at all. They've all been very polite this season, which has been a little boring.
Listen,
but also
you know,
like it's strange. It's like very Great British Bake Off. Like they're all like so nice to each other, which like is nice that they're
We
all
love,
friends, but I want to see fighting.
We love Jeff Probst, but you have to watch Jonathan LaPaglia host
Alright.
a season of Australian Survivor and run one of these tribals because it's
Plus,
so
they've all
it's
got
so
all
good.
the
People out.
I'm
Like he's
sure,
just
so
flat
that-
out. He's like, Mikey, what are you doing? What are you doing back at camp? And why do you think you deserve to stay? like, and it's just
Interesting.
like no one's just talking about metaphors and all this garbage, like like the way that they do in our Survivor. I didn't see season 38.
Which one is 38? I don't know the numbers. I just know the names. Is that? I don't remember.
I have no idea.
Because
I don't know
40 was
Survivor like that.
40 was all the winners. Was all like the winners.
Winners at
And
the
then
war.
39 would have been David versus Goliath. And then 30 Edge of Extinction. Yes. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
We don't know it.
I remember.
So there you go. See,
Vaguely.
I told you, Matt. I knew you'd like Mikey. There we go.
Oh. I vaguely. I watched a whole bunch of seasons like all at the same time, and that was one of them. But yeah. Okay.
So I guess I have some more American Survivor to watch, but we don't
There's
have
some
time.
good-
Because
Yeah.
there's an Australian Survivor starting in January, so we're booked.
So much for our break.
Well, I was always going to do that, so I don't know what you're talking about. I have to do Australian Survivor. I cannot ignore that.
Yeah,
Now that we got
there's
the
no
VPN
there's no
going,
other choice.
I have no choice. What am I supposed to do? I can't ignore that.
Australian
Just go
Survivor
lay
has
down.
to.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if I can get 2 weeks out of a break, fine. But I must. Oh, so it's not worth watching this Edge of Extinction? It's a
That
terrible
Tribal is
season.
worth
That
it.
Tribal is worth the watch. I don't need to give up hours of my life for one Tribal. Not a good sell. Boo. Boo, not a good sell. Edge of Extinction. Yep. On the edge, all right.
Mm.
At least
Guess
in
we'll
one
see.
thing isn't that good.
I can't remember
All right.
enough about it to like have a true opinion. I have to be honest,
Oof. Oh.
which might be
That's-
telling in itself.
Right, it is. That's exactly what I was going to say. That says quite a bit. All right, so that's it. I mean, I have to go to bed. I have work and stuff. So that, if there's nothing else for the benefit of the community on this episode of Survivor 43 here, on this
It's a
blind
delicious
side.
blindside.
Yeah,
A
we say
delicious
sorry, Cody.
A
blindside.
delicious
And Jesse,
blindside.
Jesse for number one. Jesse to the end. Give that man $1
Seriously.
million. I
Such
would
a move.
personally give him
What a
$1 million
move.
if I could.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he can make fire, and then he wins.
Or you win that immunity. If he wins that immunity, that's all he needs.
Yeah.
Well,
Good for him.
Owen and
Good for
Carla are him winning immunity against these people though, and Cassidy. I don't know. Good luck.
It just depends on the challenge. Because if it were, because it could just be like something puzzly or like.
I have a
Like that
question.
little-
I
that
do have a
little-
question.
You do. Huh?
So he has this idol that no one knows about, right?
Mm.
Let's say that at the next immunity challenge, Jesse wins immunity, right?
Yeah.
So now he's safe, and now he has the power to play this idol for somebody else,
Mm.
and he could potentially use this strategically to keep some player in the game that he feels like he knows he can beat, whether that's in a fire challenge or by the jury vote or in some other competition. So let's say that Jesse wins immunity at this next immunity challenge. Who do you think he would be most likely to play the idol for? Because he's definitely going to play it. He's not just going to let that sit in his pocket and not let people know that he was in possession of it all this time. Who do you think he might use it on? Out
I
of who's
play it
left?
for Owen
I guess Owen.
because at that point he's now saved Owen twice, and Owen's been on the wrong side of almost every vote. He's the easiest. He's the easiest to win against. Jesse could win against any of them, but Owen is the easiest.
Yeah. Matt agrees here with Owen. Owen or Gabler.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Carla's too much.
Just
of
a thought, because like we know that he's gonna play it at the next tribal. He can't just let it sit in his pocket and not let people know that he had it. So he's definitely going to use it. It's either going to be on himself, or if he wins immunity, somebody else. So that's the only other question that I had was, who do you think he would play it on if it wasn't for himself?
Yeah.
So
Long shot that he wins, of course, but Men's is not good at challenges.
yeah, it's true. But like taking out people like Cody, like he did last week, helps him in that department.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
he becomes more of a competition threat as you take out competition
Yeah.
threats. So
Absolutely. I think he is the only one left that hasn't won one though.
I think
Gabler's
that's
won, Carla's
true.
won, Owen's won, and Cassie. Yeah, he's the only one that's left that hasn't won an immunity challenge. But it
Correct.
doesn't matter. As long as he can, if he stays, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not with the other stuff out there. No, not with everything else he's done.
No.
It would be nice if he did get a win though, because then I feel like that is the only thing.
The only
thing that's not on his resume.
Only hole. Yeah.
Because I remember even like his tribe, that tribe when there was the 3 tribes, they were struggling for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. I can't believe the
crossed
finale is
for
this
him.
week.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that came up so fast. I feel
It
like.
did come
Team
out very
Jesse,
quickly.
baby, day 1.
It's kind of crazy. I think it might happen.
I'll be so excited.
This is true. Matt saying, I feel like immunity wins have become less important to juries as of recent. I agree with that.
I mean, social game is what's going to take you the whole way. The immunity is only going to take you so far.
Right, because the immunity only lasts for one.
Yeah, it's just like it's
Especially,
not. Like,
no, go ahead, Mikey.
I was just gonna say the physicalness of the game, like, just is not really a factor. The only thing I would say were like if Noelle had made it to the final 3, she's hard to beat because that is an incredibly impressive thing to do as a person who because she's doing the same things as everybody else, but it's more difficult for her to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
But besides like an extenuating circumstance like that, like there's just like no one's impressed by the physical in
Right.
that game.
Because I also was thinking to myself too, I'm like, okay, the jury is looking for people that have made big moves, right? And in this last tribal, we saw everybody saying like, wow, Jesse did that. And I'm thinking to myself too, I'm like, who on the jury has won an immunity challenge? You know what I mean? Like the majority of the people that are on the jury probably have not won an immunity challenge. So that wouldn't sway them anyway. It's like, oh, you won an immunity challenge 2-3 weeks ago? Who cares? I just watched Jesse pull off his own huge blindside where he sent out his number 1, a huge threat in the game. Got Carla, another huge threat in the game to use her idol. Like that's the thing that's most, that stands out the most to me. Not somebody who might have won immunity a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I'm looking at who made the biggest moves, and especially if I'm a member of the jury that never won an immunity challenge, why that wouldn't even come into my mind probably.
And even so, it's almost more impressive that he hasn't, because it's like he was never actually safe, and yet he was safe every time. You know what I mean? He never had that extra. I mean, like he had the idols the whole time, but beside the point. I will say though, Noelle is fun on the jury. She's got a couple good little one-liners in there every now and then. Who was it? Carla was like limping up to Carla was limping up to go make her vote, and Noelle goes, "She looks like me," which was
I laughed so hard.
She's fun.
I like Noelle a lot.
Me too.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
She was my.
I'd like to see her back in some fashion.
I would be surprised to see her come back in the slightest. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. Thanks all. Thanks for a fun night. And thank you to Mikey for joining us again.
Thanks
Made
for having
tonight super
me.
fun. Yeah, glad this worked
Always a
out. Sometimes
pleasure.
spur of the moment is best.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You can find us on the socials at StratChatPod or on our website at StratChatPod.com. And yeah, we're out of here. Thanks for hanging.